Now you see it's sucking you in. The artist is LCD Soundsystem. Welcome to episode 14 of Album Armageddon.
Welcome to episode 14 of Album Armageddon. I'm your host, Cy Stevens, and joining me as always are my amazing co-hosts. Look for the girl who has put up with all of our shit. It's Cath McCauley.
I thought you were going to say Stu. Hi, everyone.
And present company, the best that you can find, it's Stu Whitehouse.
Watcher.
How are you both?
Very well,
good,
thank you.
Good. A bit cold, but good.
Cold.
Good.
Cold.
Yeah, I'm cold.
He's got his hat on.
I've got a hat on.
He's always got his hat on. It was July.
No, I've got a woolly hat
month.
now. Got a woolly hat now. Ooh, upgraded.
So, what is Album Armageddon? Most of you know this by now, but for the newcomers, Album Armageddon is where we take two albums from a single artist, pair up the tracks into battle, debate and vote on said tracks and create a super album that you can find on Spotify by the time you have finished listening to this episode. Before we begin though, why not head on over to Facebook group as well as, I'm not saying X, it's going to be Twitter and Instagram, and check out what we are doing there, as well as the chat, debate and shenanigans curated by our wonderful community manager, Emma Garrett. So grab a beverage and snack, sit back, and let's go over the three main rules of the show, which are: Rule 1, albums must have the same number of tracks in order for them to be matched up, so on occasion there may be some creative licensing for this to happen. But that would always be following a strict criteria that we won't get into here, but we will explain it if and when we need to. Rule 2 is an album can only arrive in Armageddon once. The same goes for artists, unless a strong and genuine argument could be given for them to feature a second time. Rule 3 is the host who chose the artist can use the napalm?
Yes, they can.
They can use napalm death cards as well, which allows them to declare a track the winner regardless of the voting result. However, this can only be used during the discussion of a track and can only be used once per show. As you will know by now, this is very much a passion and fun podcast, and whilst we do go into some of the intricacies of the track and the key of the song and such like, you will mainly get our thoughts, our feelings, and occasionally stories around the songs, quite often in jest and sometimes in annoyance. Very much an annoyance. As such, we do get passionate and drop the occasional swear word, but don't worry, we've got a robust and stringent filter called Stew that allows a lot of words through, but not... So don't worry about hearing that. So, now all of that is out the way. As our intro said, this month is LCD Soundsystem, and the albums are This Is Happening versus Sound of Silver. And this was Cath's choice. So Cath, why LCD Soundsystem and why those albums?
Well, I think the question is why not? They're bloody amazing.
I agree.
You say that. You say
right then,
that.
end of show. That's it, done.
Thanks, everyone.
Right, that's the quickest show ever.
So, no, I love LCD Soundsystem. I discovered them, it must have been about 10 years ago. So I think a colleague of mine actually sort of recommended them to me. And it's not the stuff that I normally listen to, but they're just something like, they're just some sort of charm that they've got, and like the sort of the effects that they use and the melodies of the keyboards. Like, what's not to like about them?
A lot.
I agree.
Stu, what do you reckon? How did you discover them?
I love them. Well, funnily enough, when I first heard them, a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, bought me, I think This Is Happening, I think he bought me that for a birthday. And I was rude. I went,
I mean, that's normal, but what?
This is. I'm not rude. Anyway, I said, Rob, this is awful. Why have you got me this? This is awful. And then, I don't know, about 6 months or a year later, I put it back on. I was just like, oh, yeah. And there was something about it, and then it got its hooks in me, and I love him. And I have apologised to him since as well, to how stupid I was, because you have basically opened my eyes to this amazing band, and it's one band now I've never seen live, and so badly. And they toured recently as well, back in the UK.
They're at Glastonbury as well.
Yeah, and it's just, I'm absolutely gutted, because this band, it doesn't matter really what you think of on record, they demand to be seen live. They're a live band.
Definitely.
At the end of the day. Everything about it's live. It's fantastic, and I just love them in that sense. So that's been my history with them, really. It's just like an absolute epitome of like, oh, you absolute idiot. No, they are brilliant.
They certainly are. So, what do you reckon, Si?
Well, this is going to be the shortest section ever for me. I was a week younger than I am now when I first heard them. And,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
And it's been interesting.
Okay.
A couple of things I like, a few things I dislike, one major thing I fucking hate with a passion. I'm going to get it right out of the way straight away. I love layers in music. I love listening to a track, and I love hearing a little something in the background, or utilising the full pan of the listening environment. I do not like music being a maths exam and showing your workings for extra marks. Not my thing. Further this, I find a lot of the tracks, mainly the long ones, suffer from a problem where the track doesn't have enough. It doesn't have enough. It's almost there. Aha! Sweet spot! And then he gets carried away and ruins it by adding more and more.
Hang on, you have seen the MO of what we're reviewing this month, haven't you? It is the right albums you're listening to.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not listening to different albums from me and Cath listening to.
No, it's definitely these albums.
Okay.
And I believe we have a contender for the Kings of Interpolation, and Green Day may have to give up that crown. There are just so many other songs in his songs, or their songs. And
Okay.
in my research, I did find two little things that I
Right.
think has formed my feelings about LCD Soundsystem, or James Murphy directly, to be frank.
Okay. Well, I'm really interested to hear what you've discovered. So
I'd say not you're cutting him off there.
Yeah, it did sound like it cuts me off. It's like, do you want to leave him on now?
You're going to be
or
passive
later?
aggressive there,
I'm
Cath.
responding to what he said. No, I am genuinely interested to know, because I've not done research. I've just sort of responded about the track.
Well, the first thing I think I found out from man, it's like, right, okay, they have rules when they're performing live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The first of which is nobody on stage can hear anything that the audience can't hear.
Okay.
I agree with that. That I agree with. I 100% agree. Why should I think that's getting away with like tick tracks and things like that to keep time. But these rules also include no feeling it, no rocking out, no improvising, no psyching up the crowd. And it's just like, when I go to a gig, I want the band to enjoy themselves.
That's bullshit, because they were totally rocking out at Glastonbury.
Yeah, where did you read this?
Rolling Stone magazine.
Oh, well, there you
and,
go
and
then.
only that one source. Any other source?
Oh, no, there was a couple that had this on their list, but I don't know if it was sourced in where their
It's
sources would come from.
nonsense.
And it was just like, I want to see a band enjoy themselves when I go. Otherwise,
They really were enjoying themselves. Like, just get on iPlayer and see that they're jumping up and down and messing around and drinking beer and just having a fantastic time.
Okay, well, we'll see what they're like live after the show. And then secondly was James Murphy's quote was, and this is his quote in an interview, "Every person who plays their instrument is better at their instrument than I am. I happen to be better at being me, so I can take your instrument and play what I want better than you can." Well, you're just a pompous aren't you, James?
Well, that's rock and roll for you, then.
Okay, I'm done. That wasn't so short, but that's kind of the theme for this crowd as well.
So, Cath, we gathered Simon doesn't like this band.
They're not my favourite.
No, doesn't seem so, does it?
No, it doesn't, no.
So let me tell you about LCD Soundsystem. So they're an American rock band from New York, founded in 2002 by James Murphy, our friend, who is also the band's lead vocalist, songwriter and producer. They're known for blending elements of dance punk, electronic and rock music. LCD Soundsystem has become one of the most acclaimed acts of the 2000s indie scene. Their music is characterised by a mix of sharp introspective lyrics, driving beats and eclectic influences from punk, disco and new wave, creating a sound that's both emotionally resonant and highly danceable, and I do not disagree.
Very. Yep.
The band released its self-titled debut album in 2005, which included the breakout single Daft Punk Is Playing at My House. This track, along with others, helped the album gain critical acclaim, and it became known for its ironic, self-aware lyrics and infectious energy. Their second album, A Sound of Silver, was released in 2007 and widely praised and is often considered one of the best albums of the decade. It features hits like All My Friends and Someone Great. Their third album, This Is Happening, continued their success, delivering fan favourites like Dance Yourself Clean and I Can Change, we will be talking about Sound of Silver and This Is Happening.
Excellent.
Superb.
Yeah. Okay, so Sound of Silver, released in 2007, it's their critically acclaimed second album, often held as one of the best records in the 2000s. The album showcases James Murphy's evolution as a songwriter and producer, blending a wide array of influences, from electronic and dance punk to post-punk and disco, with introspective, emotionally resonant lyrics. The record captures the band's signature balance of wit and vulnerability wrapped in a complex danceable beats. Wouldn't you agree there, Si?
Absolutely. That is definitely the thing that was happening.
Yes. So the second album, This Is Happening, released in 2010, it was highly anticipated following the critical success of Sound of Silver and marked a pivotal moment in the band's career, as it would ultimately be their last album before they disbanded in 2011, and then they reunited in 2016, thankfully. This Is Happening continues the band's exploration of electronic dance punk, but introduces a more refined, polished sound, blending rock, disco, and new wave influences with James Murphy's characteristic wit and introspective lyrics. So these are the first two albums.
Okay, when you said the Sound of Silver is their second album, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it like a proper second album? It's like, was their first album a proper album? It wasn't an EP or anything like that?
I think it was a proper album, as far as I'm aware.
It's just that there's always this myth in the music industry that bands have a difficult second album.
Yeah.
And I don't think...
It's not always the case, though.
I think every artist that we featured, where we featured their second album, it's definitely not been the case that it comes across as a difficult album.
Yeah, sometimes it's way better than the first album.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so without further ado, we will talk about the first tracks. So it's Get Innocuous versus Dance Yourself Clean. So I'm going to give you some facts about the tracks and then pass over to you for your opinions. So Get Innocuous, it's the opening track on the acclaimed second album. It's known for its hypnotic driving beat and gradual build-up. The song sets a tone for the entire album, blending electronic dance punk and new wave influences. With its layered minimalist production, Get Innocuous draws inspiration from bands like Kraftwerk and Brian Eno, creating an immersive experience that feels both futuristic and introspective. Dance Yourself Clean, spelt Yrself. So
Yourself.
abbreviated. It's one of the standout tracks from this album. The song is widely regarded as a modern classic, praised for its unique structure, emotional depth, and fusion of electronic, indie rock, and dance music elements. At its core, this is a song about self-reflection, the desire for catharsis, and the tension between escapism and confronting one's inner turmoil. So we will start with Si.
Oh, yay! Okay, so...
You're wrong. You're wrong.
I'm wrong. Okay.
Wrong.
Yeah, this is going to be a theme for most of this episode, is that I will be wrong. But they're a hard one. As I say, I'm coming into this completely clean.
Yeah.
I think you guys had it last month with Blackberry Smoke. It's like a band you've never heard before. So it's like, you've got no nostalgia.
No.
To fall back on. It's not like you can put a memory to these songs. You're literally listening to these songs off the back, which Cath purely agrees with me on this one. At least someone agrees with me on this episode. So yeah, it is a bit... It's not awkward. It's difficult at times to know what...
I do appreciate
You're going
that,
purely on your
sample,
themes,
yeah.
and like...
Of course, yeah.
I may be over-analysing the tracks for that reason, because I've got nothing else to really fall back on. That being said, though, there are some things to fall back on. Get Innocuous, when I first started the track, I thought I'd put the wrong album on. And I'd put Robots by Kraftwerk on. The layering is a lot quicker on Get Innocuous, as opposed to Dance Yourself Clean. And we are hitting a sweet spot around the 2-minute mark. I don't like the delivery of the lyrics. It sounds so whiny initially, and then so... I don't want to say boring, let's go with great.
Yeah,
they're very grey, the lyric delivery. But I do like the reverb effect on them. The female lyrics sound like something else, but I'm not sure what. Although, I do know The Edge of 17 by Stevie Nicks interpolation at 5 minutes 20.
Okay.
And for our younger listeners, Destiny's Child used it for Bootylicious.
Wow, okay.
The too much layering point for me is when the laser guns arrived around 6 minutes, though, to be fair. Because it literally is just like, pew, 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 and it's like, no, take him away from the mixing desk. Dance Yourself Clean. When I first heard this, I thought, ooh, it's recorded really quiet. I mean, some albums actually are because it gives them a bigger range to utilise. So I turned it up, only to get my eardrums blasted out at roughly 3 minutes. It isn't recorded quietly at all. It's just the mix is totally wrong. In fact, it's unfair to say it's totally wrong. It's actually completely fucked up. I do not like this at all. I do not like this, Sam I Am. We have the math equation approach to making music all over this, and it just takes so long to get going. The song could be edited to start at 3 minutes, and you wouldn't be missing much. And although the mix is still completely wrong, I did like his scream note hold at Put Your Little Feet Down. It's about 5 minutes in. That is quite a long note to be holding vocally. And it does probably hit its sweet spot around the 6.5 minute mark. But then he gets overexcited with the synth around the 7 minute 45 mark. But I'll let him off as he brings it back for the remaining minute. And did I mention how much James Murphy sounds like Kermit the Frog at the start of this track?
Again, what albums have you been listening?
So, bring it all in. If you cut out the middle section of both tracks, when the song is fully or at least almost fully formed, then both would be better tracks for me. That's the middle and both ends of it. However, that mix of Dance Yourself Clean remains awful, regardless of how you shorten the track, so I'm going with Get Innocuous.
Okay, right, Stu, over to you.
I'm actually completely dumbfounded about that absolute, sorry, drivel you've come out with. Right, I put a note on mine for these two songs, and the first bit is, I love both songs so much, this is not fair. There we go. Now, that's a complete contrast to what Mr. whatever his name is said.
Well, to be fair, I hated both tracks equally, Stu, if it makes you feel
that
better.
is true. That is true. So I suppose we've got the yin and the yang going on.
Yeah.
Innocuous. Oh, what can you say? This is a fucking good track.
It is.
It's so good. The way the LFO opens up and the piano's being played, the drums kick in at 1:38. It's so good. I want more of it.
Well, just listen to The Robots by Kraftwerk. You'll get much more.
No. Kraftwerk are great, but it's very minimalistic. You can't compare these. This is so layered and so good. The keyboard riff is completely on point, in my opinion, as well. Vibes, though, of Talking Heads. And, you know, he said, like, Tom Tom Club. Remember? Is it Tom Tom Club? Yeah. So, like, the way the female delivers the vocals, that's the first thing what came into my head, anyway. Oh, God. But in 520-ish, the layers of the songs, like, then strip away, and there's that, like, TB303 acid bass riff kicking in. It's just... And with the G tunes as well. It's like, it's amazing.
That is Stevie Nicks.
No, but it's incredible. And this, right, again, I'm going to say this for nearly every track. This live is just, this is what you want. This is exactly what you want from a live band at the end of the day. Oh, right. That's me gushing over that one. The next one, Dance Yourself Clean. Cowbell goodness. Come on, let's go. 3 minutes in, the drums spin up, and then with an out of place, but not an out of place synth, but it does work. It's in there. More cowboy action, yes please, and a tick I've got on my notes.
Yeah.
Around 4 minute mark, the synth goes off on one. I do kind of like it, but I'm thinking,
it's a bit much. That's
thing is though, there's plenty of bands, and I do think it's something I can't connect with. I think it's just a particular artistic thing, which there's loads of other bands that do it, and I'm going, I can't. It's like you've gone freeform jazz, and I don't understand. I'm sorry. I'll just let you carry on, and then you'll come back. But again, I completely agree with you, Si. I bet he was knackered after putting your little feet down. After doing holding that note.
I tell you what I thought of when I heard that note was, is it from Whom the Bell Tolls by Iron Maiden?
Oh, no, Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Hallowed Be Thy Name. Dickinson holds a huge
He
note.
certainly does. Very impressive.
And it's very akin to that. For like the length and holding the note. I as much as I fucking hate the kid, I will toss my cap to him for this one.
Wow, okay. Don't hold back.
You're making me work on my editing today, aren't you? Anyway, Get Innocuous is my vote. It's just, that's what you want from an opening track on an album, and that's the first song you want when you see me at a gig. That's what I want anyway. So,
what does I want?
Oh,
well,
two pints of lager and a packet of crisps, I think would probably be a better option.
Cath, what do you think?
So what I think is, I think they're both really good tracks. So Get Innocuous, I love it. It's like the simple electronic beats starting up, the sort of the synth arrangements, the propulsive rhythm. It's really nice track to listen to. The themes that they explore also really interesting. And I just thought I don't have too much to say about it because it's quite simplistic, but it's just a really pleasant track to listen to, and it just sort of really sets you up for the album. So I've given it 7 LCD Soundsystems out of 10. Dance Yourself Clean. So it's quite a long track, so it's 8 minutes 56. But I think it's brilliant. I love the song, and it doesn't ever feel like it's too long. It feels just right. So it's got a simplistic percussion intro with a haunting 2-note keyboard loop. There's a lot of focus on the lyrics, and some of the lines which stand out to me include "Talking like a jerk, except you are an actual jerk and living proof that sometimes friends are mean." James Murphy, the singer, he does sound a little bit like Kermit the Frog when he delivers those lines. I don't disagree. I love the cheeky little keyboard melody in between the first 2 verses as well. But I think what I love most about this track is the way that it takes off with this sinister 1980s keyboard effect after the intro. The melody goes a little bit oriental in the solo. And it's just really enjoyable with the little sort of keyboard solos. And I just think that really makes the track great, along with some super impressive vocals, as you guys have said as well. So out of the 2, Dance Yourself Clean is my favourite, but quite honestly, I'm happy with either of them.
Okay.
Excellent.
I thought we were going to have a clean sweep there for a second.
I mean, listeners, I advise you to listen to both albums because they're sublime. Don't listen to Si, he's wrong.
Okay, so the next tracks, we've got Time to Get Away up against Drunk Girls. So Time to Get Away, it's a mix of energetic dance punk and introspective lyrics, reflecting a sense of frustration and the desire to break free from a stifling situation. The track features a driving rhythm, propulsive bass line, and layered electronic beats, creating an infectious groove that builds momentum throughout. And Drunk Girls, so this song stands out for its punchy, upbeat energy and playful, satirical lyrics, offering a more light-hearted tone compared to the introspective and melancholy tracks on this album. Musically, it blends LCD Soundsystem's signature dance punk sound with a catchy, anthem-like feel, driven by a driving bass line, jangly guitars, and a danceable rhythm. So, Stu, would you like to talk to us about these tracks?
It's not fair. I want both. Let me have both. I want both. They're too good. Both. They're too good not to be on the same record, even though they're on different records. Anyway, Time to Get Away. What a great track that is. It's just the way it all builds up, and I love the way James delivers the "Time to Get Away." It's so good. It just works so well, and the bass is just the. I don't know. I really like the bass as well. The way it just goes off on one, and not off on one, but it's very simplistic in that. Probably like if Robbie hears this, is probably like going, "No, you're wrong." I don't know. It's just the whole song. It's a long track. It's it's not that long. It's about 4 minutes, isn't it?
No,
it's about that long. But I think they pack a lot of into it myself, and it's just again, it's another perfect live track. It's just fantastic.
Yep.
Drunk Girls. Oh my good God, what a great start to this song. How can you not just sing and just start singing Drunk Girls?
Yeah.
It's awesome. Everything about this song is fantastic. Murphy's delivery of it is absolutely cool. He's just got such a cool voice, in my opinion. He's just like, I mean, I don't think he's got many ranges. And I don't, as a good singer, as a person who can hit notes, no, probably not. But his voice is perfect for his music. And that's, I think, what the big takeaway has to be of it. Like, I don't think he can do falsettos and all those kind of stuff, but he doesn't have to. His voice and the way he structures it around the music, it's just perfect. In my opinion, it's absolutely perfect for that thing. Like, if he did opera singing, maybe not so good.
I think this, like you're saying, the music is built around his voice rather than his voice is built around the music. Yes,
exactly, yeah. And there's plenty of other bands out there who are just like that as well, and they're really good as well. So I just want to get up and dance to this one. When I hear it, I just want to go, right then. Well, it's awesome, isn't it? So, it's going to be Drunk Girls for me. I can't.
Excellent
I'm reading my notes and then going, oh, I've got too much to say. Oh,
okay, Si, what do you reckon?
I mean, these are two of the shorter tracks going against each other. Time to Get Away was their fourth single from that album. Drunk Girls, the second single from This Is Happening. Time to Get Away. See, this is what happens when the creative genius is reined in a little bit. The track hits you instantly. There's still layering. He's still allowed to add stuff, but it's not so much, and then I add this, and then I add this, and then I add this. I actually like both of these tracks as well.
Oh.
Right, okay.
The synth throughout Time to Get Away is great, but when that funky bass line kicks in, it is fucking awesome. It is,
isn't it?
Drunk Girls. Ooh, White Light, White Heat by the Velvet Underground is stolen. I mean, paid tribute to here. As such, it is a bit more of a punky feel to it. A little bit less layering, with the layers already formed when the song starts. And it's more likely a song you would like to hear in the late 70s, early 80s, when Britain went punk, effectively. It would fit right in at home there as well. Drunk Girls for me is one of those songs, along with Time to Get Away, that I actually like, and I want more of this sort of stuff. So it is kind of a tough choice. My head is saying go with the more technical and layering of Time to Get Away, but my heart is saying go with the more punky Drunk Girls. So
which is going to win?
Going to go with my heart, and Drunk Girls gets it for me.
Yeah.
Right, okay then. So, Time to Get Away, it's another instrumentally minimal track combining funk, punk and electric music elements into their signature sound. The beginning beat could easily be mistaken for Beat It by Michael Jackson. At least in my mind, it does.
Okay, I can kind of see it, yeah.
As you've mentioned, the track has a really funky bass riff throughout, which works very well, but they're also funky percussion and keyboards. And it just got a really 1970s American aesthetic to it. So it's a very enjoyable track. Drunk Girls, so I agree with everything you guys have said. It's one of my absolute favourite tracks. It's energetic, it's highly memorable, and for ages I thought it was called Young Girls.
And that theory does hold up with the paedophile lyric as well.
I was going to mention that, yeah. There's a lyric about drunk boys keeping pace with the paedophiles, which support this misheard chant. It's got chuggy guitars and just ticks all the boxes for a classic LCD Soundsystem track, and it absolutely gets my vote.
A clean sweep.
Clean sweep. Okay, so next up, we've got North American Scum versus One Touch. So, North American Scum was a commercial success, and it remains a fan favourite for its catchy hooks, memorable lyrics, and the way it captures the spirit of LCD Soundsystem's approach to blending humour, introspection, and sharp observation into their music. One Touch, it combines dance punk and electronic music even, with a melancholic, introspective tone, making it one of the more emotionally complex pieces on the album. Like much of This Is Happening, it reflects James Murphy's ability to blend upbeat danceable grooves with deeper, often reflective themes. Si, would you like to begin?
Okay, so North American Scum. I saw the time limit for this on increasing, and I thought I heard that painful, slow, free-chord intro, and I thought, God, we're going back into the math equations again. But then we jumped straight into Homo Sapien by Pete Shelley interpolation.
Wow, I did not hear. I didn't notice that.
Oh, yeah,
wow,
seriously.
okay.
Have a listen to these two tracks like side by side, and it's just like, oh, okay. It's got a great guitar riff in this as well. Again, it's a little punky, especially with the shouty female backing vocals. It featured in the video game Saints Row 2 and Top Spin 4. Because what more diverse games can you get than Saints Row and a tennis game? But it does, however, have a lyric which made me laugh, although maybe for not the right reasons. And that is...
What was that?
We are North Americans. For those who still think we are from England, dramatic pause, we're not. And it's like, what the fuck?
Because we're not. No.
That's
it. No at the end of it.
It's just like, if you think we're anything there, we're not. It's like... one touch, though. This one is going to be super short. One touch is never enough. It is, James, especially if that touch is on the pause button. The convoluted layer in his back, however, it never really builds enough to get to a sweet spot for me. And the most I got from it is an almost 8-minute story about an exasperated bus driver. Look, I ain't moving. If you don't move to the back of the bus isn't going anywhere. We've got people waiting to get on here. I think it's obvious. It's going to be American Scum for me.
Are you sure? You don't sound sure.
No.
You're on the fence.
I'm definitely not on the fence. I'm waiting to get on the bus, but no fuckers moving along, and I can't get on it.
Stu, what do you reckon?
Again, I can't believe Si. It's just... Anyway, North American Scum. It's got a bit of a bossa nova start, but a good bossa. I don't really like bossa nova, but it's, to me. But then the drums kick in, and it's just awesome, isn't it? That again, that TB303-esque sound is in there. Another really cool song of theirs. This is just brilliant. He just knocks it out of the park in with his voice and just the way he delivers it, especially the oh, you just want to go, yeah! However, my favourite line of the whole song is, and for those of you who think we're not from England, we're not. That's my favourite line. Why do you think that's a serious thing? They're going, oh no, we must tell them that we're not. Yes, I know, they're aware of the irony. They know. It's just like, man.
There could be a better delivery. It's just...
Oh, no. That's perfect delivery. It is perfect. I don't want him to change it in any way.
It's so deadpan.
And also, this song has got... That's the only one I'm going to quote, but there's got so many good lines in there, just like little one-off things. It's brilliant. So, one touch. Again, headphones, I think, on this one. I don't think I said it before. Anyway, headphones, there's a lot of things going on. It's a nice build-up. Again, that nice... They seem to love the acidy bass TB303-esque kind of sound, like bringing up and down, which I love. I'm a big fan of that anyway. It does sound, though, a very 2010 track. It is very... I think it is even dated, even for its time now. Have you heard of a band called Meat Bee Manifesto?
Oh, yeah, they're brilliant.
Okay, so, right. Citricon, I think it was Citricon, the album. This track reminds me of that album.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's very in that area. But the problem is, though, I can listen to that Meat Bee Manifesto album now, but it's so dated. I'm not saying it's hard to listen, it's just that if you've got no nostalgia for it, stay away. There's no point. There's no point. Just keep away from it. Just lovely in there, and there's no. Oh, and also, there's no fades in this band because they're a live band and they know what works live, and they know that they don't need this nonsense. But it's going to have to be. My heart is definitely North American Scum. It is an amazing song. And if I was going to see them live, I would demand this song to be played. I really would. And my favourite line to be delivered.
Yeah.
Actually, if he passed me the microphone, I would do it for them. Cath.
Right, excellent. So, yeah, North American Scum, much more vocally led track, with the music being more supportive, although it's still distinctively LCD Soundsystem. The music, very much a fusion of dance punk, electronic rock, driven by a strong bass line and propulsive drums. I've also got a favourite line in this track as well, which is, and for those of you who still think we're from England, we're not.
It's the best.
What else can I say about it? The lyrics address the complexities of being an American abroad, acknowledging both pride and embarrassment in North American identity. It's an absolute crowd pleaser.
Yep.
And it's getting it. I've not been doing the ratings things, but 8.5 LCD Soundsystems out of 10, that one.
Ooh.
So, One Touch, the distinctive infectious rhythms that kick off LCD Soundsystem tracks are always a treat. This track has a hypnotic quality to it. And it's a very energetic track. It's got a slightly different style on the vocals. And I sort of noticed on this track in particular the inclusion of the backing vocals on the sort of the One Touch bit by Nancy Wang, who I presume it's her. I don't think there's any other female members.
No, she's the only female there.
Okay, but yeah, I just sort of noticed that bit, and I don't think there'd been any sort of backing vocals on any of the other tracks so far. I also thought that James Murphy's vocals were interesting, because they're slightly different to the other tracks, and they just sound a bit more subdued. So I gave this one 7 out of 10 LCD Soundsystems. I mean, North American Scum is just a classic.
Yeah, you can't not pick it, can you?
Exactly, yeah. So that one's definitely going on the playlist.
So another clean sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a nice, that album. So
far.
It's really nice. Yeah, so far.
Okay, so next up, we've got Someone Great versus All I Want. So Someone Great is one of the standout tracks on LCD Soundsystem's album Sound of Silver. The song is both a heartfelt meditation on loss and a masterclass in electronic production, blending emotional depth with a catchy pulsating beat. Written and produced by James Murphy, Someone Great reflects on the sudden void left by someone important, often interpreted as a tribute to a personal or familial loss, though Murphy has never specified the exact nature of the story. All I Want, it's a standout song, showcasing James Murphy's talent for blending emotional depth with electronic dance music. The track's introspective lyrics and lush production stand in contrast to the more energetic, upbeat songs on the album, capturing themes of desire, frustration, and personal reflection. And this time, we're going to start with Stu.
Right, so Someone Great, nice cowboy, what? Keyboard.
Cowboy?
There's no cowboy in this. Right.
Yeah, it's not
Keyboard
Black We
sound.
Smoke.
Nice drums. Keyboard riff, though, a little bit wobbly. You know, it's a bit like... so like, okay. Reminds me of Human League, though.
Okay.
I don't know whether you've got any of those. It's an okay song. It's LCD Soundsystem. I like the way it's all layered again. I like the way James delivers his vocals.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good song. All I Want, very raw. To me, it sounds like it was just all recorded in a rehearsal studio, and that's it. You know, just minimal mixing. Obviously, there's loads of mixing, but like to me, now without being lynched by the internet and probably you two, it reminded me of David Bowie's Heroes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
Okay.
Okay. That's good. At least I'm not going to get lynched by you. And which is a good thing,
Yeah,
David Bowie's
definitely.
good. And Heroes is not one of his best tracks, but it's an okay track. It's good. Well, in my opinion, that is. I really like this one. It's nice and calm and different. It's just like slightly off key, and I quite like that. So, All I Want gets my vote.
Okay, great. Si, what do you reckon?
Okay, Someone Great. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it again later in the episode as well. I don't think you need the layering at the start. Go straight into the song at those bass synth stabs. They hit really nicely. I think the big problem is that James Murphy has probably too much creative control. And whilst it isn't a problem and artists should be creative, I think you just need someone to sit down and go, look, James, we don't need to push this button here. What about if we started with all the buttons pushed? Let him be creative, but he just doesn't know when to stop. In my mind, I kind of compare him to Neil Hannon of the Divine Comedy. Neil is very creative, but he also recognises when a track is ready or complete and stops adding shit. James, not so much. With that all in mind, though, this track is great and probably one of the best on the album. His vocals are good, the layers are all there, and it never feels like it goes on too long. It's probably the only track longer than 6 minutes that I've liked so far.
Okay.
Although I still want to take that first 30 seconds off to make it less than 6 minutes long. All I want, 100% just like you, Stu, that's the opening note. So you want to listen to Heroes by David Bowie, but not listen to Heroes by David Bowie? Well, Jamesy Boy has the track for you. We've got hand claps in there, and we all love a hand clap.
Certainly do.
I actually am enjoying this track, making it another post 6 minute track that I'm liking. Maybe it's just Stockholm syndrome at this point. Maybe it's just a similarity to other tracks that I'd like. When that synth solo comes in over the guitar at about 3 minutes, I'm like, yeah, this is good. However, he then forgets to mute that synth solo and it goes into nightclub easy jazz and it just gets too much. Not everything has to be a layer, James. Just chill. We've quite often mentioned in previous episodes an element in the track where it appears once and never again, and we're like, oh, I like that. I want to more hear that. James Murphy, however, too often demonstrates why some things should only be heard periodically in a song.
Oh, dear.
Wow. Okay.
As much as I like that synth solo when it began, it's actually also the thing that ruins the song for me as well. It goes on too long, as in the rest of the fucking song. And it actually runs out of places to go. So instead of being harmonic to the song, it actually becomes jarring and out of place. So I'm going to go with someone great.
Oh my God.
Right, okay.
What are you having, Cath?
Well, Someone Great begins with a pulsing electro beat and haunting melody, which is very pleasant. It's got quite a retro feel to it with the simplistic keyboard melody. I think it's another fantastic track and an absolute crowd pleaser. And I thought, having sort of understood what the song's about, it's an unusually upbeat track for the subject matter of loss and grief. So I thought that was quite interesting. I gave it 8 LCD Soundsystems out of 10. All I Want. So the track starts like a rock track with the drums and guitar opening things up. However, it still has the pulsing looping keyboard, but it's the effect on the guitar that just really dominates and overpowers absolutely everything, including the vocals, which was a bit weird. I thought it was an okay track, but just a little bit too sort of rock band. And less weird percussion and hypnotic keyboard melodies than how I like my LCD Soundsystem. There is a keyboard melody in it which makes itself known about halfway through the track, and that wins me over slightly, but not enough for it to win against Someone Great. So Someone Great is going to get my vote. So it's All I Want gets 7 LCD Soundsystems out of 10, so 1 less.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I disagree, but there you go.
I think that's the first time that we've disagreed with each other as well, Stu.
No, but I don't, because I like them all, so they can all go for it. I just find that one a little bit too wobbly on the sound. If you're wearing headphones, it's a bit too...
Bit too Doctor Who?
No, not Doctor Who, no. So,
Well,
I do need to push back a little bit. So I love the slow build up and the... I can't see why you would... take that away from them if they want to do that. I don't understand.
I like finding things in music. I don't need it to be like labeled like evidence A, B, C, D, and E.
Oh,
and that's what it feels like when he just builds it. And it's not even like a quick build, although we will come up to that on other tracks. It's like, I shall add this element. Enjoy for 30 seconds. I am now adding this ingredient here.
Okay, so coming up, in my opinion, we've got a clash of the titans with these 2 tracks. So
Yes,
we've got All My Friends versus I Can Change. And it's going to be, very challenging picking a favourite out of these two. So All My Friends, it's one of LCD Soundsystem's most celebrated songs. It's known for its relentless driving piano riff and poignant lyrics. The song has become an anthem of sorts for ageing millennials, capturing themes of friendship, nostalgia, and the passing of time. The track reflects on life's fleeting moments, the relationships we build, and the bittersweet emotions of growing older. Then we've got I Can Change. So it's one of the album's more emotionally complex and introspective songs, exploring themes of self-awareness, identity, and the desire for change within the context of relationships. It combines LCD Soundsystem's signature blend of electronic dance punk with a deep emotional undercurrent, showcasing James Murphy's ability to weave personal reflection into music that still feels energetic and compelling. And we're going to start with Psy this time.
Okay.
Right, I'm preparing for the score. Put my seatbelt on.
You built it up.
So I know where he's going with this.
It's like this is a clash of the titans. But I went into this.
It certainly is.
I wouldn't.
It really is.
I wouldn't know this like when I came into this. So I apologise to any LCD Soundsystem for what's about to happen in the next 2 minutes.
Oh no!
So All My Friends. Let's begin with a bit of Baba O'Reilly by The Who. And the best part of that is that's probably another name added to my list of possible artists we feature in the future. It builds quite quickly. I mean, this is concerning. It's 8 minutes long. It's building quickly. There's no way James ain't going to fuck this up. Vocal delivery is a bit Franz Ferdinand. Nice guitars halfway through with an interesting distortion effect. It's over. Wait a minute. James has mastered the art of not adding too much or going on too long with an element. We shall rejoice! It's also used in the trailer of the Ryan Reynolds Imaginary Friend movie, if that adds any weight to the proceedings. Might actually add minus marks, to be fair. I Can Change, no interpolation, so to speak, but full-on 80s vibes. I was thinking Gary Newman, but you mentioned the Human League a couple of tracks ago, Stu. I've kind of got that feeling from them on this one as well. It's less than 6 minutes long. It doesn't suffer from math exam syndrome, although there are layers. Sounds like an oscillator creating the melody as well, so that's really creative. I did like that. I like his vocal delivery on this as well. Some nice little elements like I don't know how to describe it. It's like what I imagine Stardust to sound like. It's like all glittery and floaty and wispy and it's in the background. I really love... No, love is a bit...
Love.
You
heard that, Cath?
Love is a bit too strong. I really enjoy both tracks. Just because I've been so critical of his longer tracks up to now, not that anyone's noticed that criticism.
Oh, no.
I've been hiding it well.
I'm glad that you love this one, though.
It's just bubbling under the surface. And I probably will again before the episode's done. I'm going to add a longer track and say All My Friends, although I really, really do like I Can Change as well. And I won't be sad with whatever one goes on.
Right, Stu, what do you think?
I am completely blown away there. Right, I've got in my notes, All My Friends, this will make Simon's face twitch. Because of the piano riff at the start.
Yeah.
Din, 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 din. I mean, it's out of time, but not out of time. It's right. When I first heard this track, I hated it. Now, then I was actually a drummer, and I was thinking, that's just fucking ridiculous. What's he doing? What? You know? And then, well, how's a drummer supposed to you're the person there who's keeping time, and then I've got to follow you, being a drummer, going, I'm not happy about this. But oh my God, did I love to appreciate this song.
Mate, that is the bit I as soon as it came on, I was like, Baba O'Reilly by The Who. I fucking love...
I've never heard that song, so I'll have to...
Baba O'Reilly with CSI is a theme song from CSI. Amazing track.
But still don't know.
Watch CSI.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'll watch good things, mate.
Don't likewise.
Anyway, that piano riff, I love that it's wrong.
Me too.
In every way. I love it. And then when the beat comes in, it does sort of fix the bad timing of the piano. It sort of works as well. And it does actually then go, and then it's just, I loved it and I hated it. And oh God, I'd love it now anyway. And James's delivery of this song is just awesome. The song, the way it builds up, I love the layering of this song and the way it builds up and then goes down and builds up and goes down. Can I change? It's everything what Si's already said as well, but in a positive light. Well, he was quite positive about that song,
very
so
positive.
I'll give you that one. Yeah,
He said he
I
loved
love
it.
the keyboard riffs, love the drums. It's very clean sounding mix as well. So I don't know whether they had a different producer on this one or whatever.
Or a producer.
Was this a single?
Or a producer.
Was this a single?
I Can Change, yes, was their third single.
Yeah, I can imagine it because it's got it reminds me of the very radio friendly kind of thing actually out there. Like the lyrics, very emotional. Why do I have to choose? Why are you making me choose?
You gotta choose.
Well, it's going to be all my friends because I did ding, 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 ding.
Right.
Love it. Love it.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, that looping piano riff is how it starts. So I saw them play this track at Glastonbury this year, and I've got to say I was so impressed with the keyboard guy and the rapid melody that he plays throughout the track, because it must be exhausting keeping time because it's quite quick. And I thought that perhaps it was just like programmed into a computer like a backing track or something, but he actually played it live. Really impressive. And it's also got the sort of the raw sound of an electric guitar roaring away in the background once the song sort of kicks off a bit. And watching the Glastonbury set, the guitarist was surprisingly energetic. He was jumping around all over the place doing his thing. And he also had cool face paint on as well. So this track has some great lyrics. If the trip and the plan come apart in your hand, you can turn it on yourself, you ridiculous clown. It reminds me of Rob. And you'll forget what you meant when you read it aloud. You said, a bit like these reviews, and yeah, we knew you were tired, but then where are your friends tonight? Yeah. And it's just such a great track.
It is, isn't it? That's the kind of track as well. You just imagine, so emotional live. Everybody just stand their hands in the air and just singing along to it. However,
there's like an inexplicable whiplash sound effect at the end of this track that was kind of interesting, that I hadn't noticed before. But yeah, it's an amazing track. So it gets 9 LCD Soundsystems out of 10. So then I Can Change. So another absolutely brilliant tune. And I really love the melodies that Nancy Wang creates. And you know that it's going to be a great track when it's her keyboard melodies that kick things off. During the chorus, it's as if her melody is 2 robots serenading each other. The lyrics are, never change, never change, never change, never change. This is why I fell in love. And then I can change, I can change, I can change, I can change. If it helps you fall in love. I don't particularly like love songs, but this one is just so cute and unusual. But I love the keyboard melodies of these 2 robots having this conversation. And more lyrics. There's love in your eyes, love in your eyes, love in your eyes. But maybe that's just your love of fights. I wonder how much it hurts to have a little piece of love in your eye. Anyway, I love this track. I also gave it 9 LCD Soundsystems out of 10 because I love these tracks equally, and I just couldn't choose between them. So because you guys have both gone with All My Friends, I will also agree with you.
But you know what? Can we have a new rule? Can we have, like, if we really, really love them, all of us, can we have both? Come on. We ignore Sai in these comments at the moment.
No.
You know what, Cath? I would have picked I Can Change just because officially on the note that you've acknowledged it. But you know,
oh, it's just such a great song.
It is.
I'm sad that it can't be on the album, that we have to pick between these 2.
Again, listeners, listen to both albums. You will not be disappointed. Simon, stop looking like that.
I'm not saying a word. I'm clearly outnumbered in the.
You are, yeah. Okay, so up next, we've got Us Versus Them versus You Wanted a Hit. So Us Versus Them is a high-energy track. It's known for, it's pretty much the same stuff all the time. It's got a pulsating rhythm, layered instrumental, captures a band's signature fusion of dance punk, funk, electronic influences, delivers an infectious groove that's both hypnotic and driving. It's a song that encourages movement propelled by a relentless beat, dynamic percussion, and thick bass lines that keep the energy building throughout. And then You Wanted a Hit The song stands out as one of the more experimental and self-aware tracks on the album. It's both a playful and biting commentary on the music industry, particularly the pressure to create a commercially successful radio-friendly hit, whilst also being a reflection on the band's own position in the music world at the time. We are going to start with Stu this time.
Us v them. Oh, this is another classic track. It really is. The paginator sound of all the way through the track is brilliant. Nice driving beat, but the bass drum sound is a bit flat. To me, in the mix, it's like, come on, what are you doing there? But saying that though, at the very start, and then you just get used to it, and then it just merges in, so they know what they're doing. You know, it's like I would personally go, well,
say that.
I would have a bit more. They do, Si. You know, come on, they know what they're doing. They made more money than us. So anyway, and there's that bass sound, that bass drum sound is a bit flat, but it works eventually in the mix. It all works together. I love how raw it is as well. And another one, again, I'm going to keep on saying it. Alive, this is just, you cry about how good it is live. 318, the track changes as well, and it's quite effective in that one, I think so. And I really like the three of them. You wanted a hit. I really like it, self-aware, like what you've put in your intro there, Cath, as well. Another, though, really bad bass drum sound, which is quite nice. The two tracks together, to me, I remember listening to and it was, and I was listening to both and going, hang on, they must have had the same drum kit or mic set up at exactly the same time. And these albums are recorded very differently, but you know, so it's a very fair comparison in that sense. It's a slow build up with a nice keyboard riff at the start. About 2 minutes in, the drums kick in and some ace hand claps going on. We all like some hand claps.
Oh, so we do.
And you wanted a hit, but it's not what we do. What a great lyric that is. I love it. It's just brilliant. It's very aware. They're going, you know, this is us. If you like it, awesome. If you don't, do one.
See you later.
And the keyboard riff at the 520 as well. That's a really good riff. So anyway, I'm going to go for You Wanted a Hit because, again, both of them are really good, but this one does take it. This is the better one out of the two.
Yeah. Okay. Do you agree, Si?
Do I agree? Okay, so Us for Them, I saw the track length and it's got me worried again. But then I remembered I enjoyed All My Friends a minute ago, so open mind, let's see what we have. Fuck it, it's maths exam time.
Simon.
So many nice elements. The funky guitar riff, the cowbell. This track, however, could start at about 2.5 minutes and you'll get all those lovely elements, but the track is fully formed and just let your listeners discover, James. You know, like you said there about the bass drum, it's flat, but it works eventually. Start the fucking track when it's working. It's not hard. It would be a shorter album, obviously, but it would be nicer. I mean, from 2.5 minutes, and it is fully formed, though, that track, as you say, it really works. It is an excellent track from that point on. You wanted a hit? I needn't worry about the track length of Us versus Them because it's going up against the longest track in this episode. 9 minutes, 6 seconds.
Of goodness, Simon, of goodness.
Well, let's analyse this 9 minutes and 6 seconds. I love the really simple intro that starts, but it fades into obscurity to never come back at 2 minutes 30. I mean, it's overtaken by hand claps and a nice little bass riff, and we all love a hand clap. We all love a nice bass riff, and that forms the main track. But that 2 minute 30 intro could have been a separate track, standing alone, all on its own, because as much as I like it, I don't think it added anything to this track. Little pan pipe action in the middle there. Why can you not why does more people not use pan pipes? There's a reason for people do not use pan pipes. Really weird effect on the guitar, which bleeds into his vocals for a few words on a couple of occasions. It's just like it really distorts his vocals, and they're like, oh fuck, turn that off. And they've hit the button, they've turned it off. There's a moog in there as well. But overall, I don't think the track actually does enough for me, so I'm going to go with Us versus Them.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Ooh, Cath.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay. Right. So us versus them. The opening lyrics aren't my favourite, I'm gonna say, but the preceding cowbell instrumental and claps absolutely is. Woohoo! The melody isn't as distinctive as the previous tracks, but this track certainly has some feel-good vibes to it. The vocal harmony at the halfway point, Cloud Block Out the Sun, is really reminiscent of the 80s, and I can imagine the track being belted out of a ghetto blaster at a rooftop party in 1980s New York. We conclude with Us versus Them over and over again. And it's going to get 7 out of 10 LCD Soundsystem.
Ooh.
So you wanted a hit. I wonder if he means a musical hit or a drug hit. Wasn't quite sure initially. Having researched the track, however, they mean a musical hit. Anyway, it starts off with a very simple drum beat, and then Nancy Wang's keyboard melody brings the vibe with a sort of a Japanese-sounding melody that gently fades out as the guitars kick in. The opening lyrics, "You wanted a hit, but maybe we don't do hits," suggests that the idea of creating a perfect hit is elusive and often a fruitless goal, according to ChatGPT anyway. I quite like this song because it's a sort of a satire of the music industry, and the LCD Soundsystem won't compromise their creativity to satisfy the profits of producers and record labels. Good for them! And on the back of that, it's going to get my vote.
Excellent. But they need to sell records so they can make more.
The irony.
Okay, I mean, yeah, so the first one got a 7 out of 10 LCD Soundsystems. This one's got 7.5 LCD
so
Sound.
still
Because
close.
they were very close, but this one just slightly better.
Well, you picked the right one, because I picked
did,
that one
didn't
too.
I? Yeah. Okay, so next up, we've got Watch the Tapes versus Pow Pow.
Pow, pow.
Pow Pow Pow.
Pow, pow, pow.
So Watch the Tapes is a track. It stands out for its blend of electronic rock and post-punk, with its driving rhythm, an infectious groove, paired with James Murphy's signature lyrical introspection. The song features a funky bass line, jittery percussion, and a series of sharp, repetitive synths, creating an energetic, almost frenetic atmosphere.
There's a lot of words there, Cath.
There is a lot of words.
A lot of words.
Pow Pow is a high-energy, punchy song that blends dance punk, electronic beats, and post-punk influences, with James Murphy's trademark wit and social commentary. Like many of the tracks on This Is Happening, Pow Pow explores themes of disconnection, social dynamics, and the complexities of modern life, but it does so with a playful and sometimes absurd edge. So let's go to Psy.
Okay.
Pow Pow.
Pow Pow. I'm going to start with Watch the Tapes, as it's got a United States of whatever vibe to it. I can't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember who did that, but it's got that sort of vibe to it.
Presidents of the... yeah.
No. Was it Liam Lynch?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe it's Liam Lynch. That's one for Emma to earn her wages this month.
Don't know.
I do love the bass line in Watch the Tapes. It's got a very punky feel to it, with the shouty chorus. Well, is it a chorus? It only really appears at the very beginning and at the end, and only once in the middle. It's just like a section of the song. It doesn't feel like a chorus as such. The na ooh section is more of the chorus for me. I can't decide if it's a drum machine doing the percussion or a string muted guitar or a combination of both. But it's short and it's sweet. 2 thumbs up.
Get your vote because of that.
Yeah. Pow Pow. Overall, I don't like the track. Let's keep it as simple as possible. It's everything I don't like about LCD Soundsystem in my relatively short knowledge of them. There are elements I do like. Bongos, for stars. Who doesn't like some bongos? It also has an effect which reminds me a little bit of Stranger Things. So maybe it's just a little bit more of a nod to the 80s than anything else. The funky little bass line and 70s disco guitar riff. However, there's a lot more I don't like. Most of which I've already mentioned on previous battles. And I'll be repeating myself. He say pow pow pow. My ears say ow ow ow.
Very good.
So I'm going to go with the much shorter punk-esque Watch the Tapes.
Right, thank you very much. Stu, what do you reckon?
Right, what do I reckon? Right, so Watch the Tapes, short one, as Simon's pointed out, and it is a great short track. Nice driving beat, dirty bass. Oh yes, that's what we need. and the oh yes, I just love them. They're just perfect in the track. They just really excellent. A very abrupt stop though. I like that as well. I like stop. You don't need to go any further. Right, next track.
Pete, you didn't do that more often.
Pow Pow Pow. It got a nice. I don't know. Do I like phaser effects? I don't know. On the hi-hats, if you've got headphones on, it just keeps on going left and right, left and right, left and right, ping pongs.
Right.
And yeah, it's okay. There's a lot going on in this track though, and nice keyboard effects as well, the keyboard riffs. I believe this song, I think it's one of their political songs, which when I've read the lyrics, it's like, oh, okay. So, but that's what I got, the vibes from it, I got from it anyway.
Yeah.
Out the two though, I'm not really a lover of punk music, as everybody already knows. I've mentioned it many times. But I do like their version of punk. So Watch the Tapes is definitely I want to see that live. Don't you? Don't you want to see that song live? It'd be awesome, wouldn't it? So Watch the Tapes gets my vote.
Okay, right. So Watch the Tapes, it follows on with the whole sort of 1980s ghetto blaster on the rooftop scene, party vibe. But with the addition of a sinister keyboard effect buzzing away in the background, vocally the song isn't one of my favourites with its woohoos, but the robotic rhythm and thrumming guitar is very danceable. But yeah, overall it's only going to get 6 LCD Soundsystem out of 10, this one.
Oh,
Pow Pow! A somewhat cynical reflection on modern existence, social expectations, and the alienation that can arise from trying to fit into a consumer-driven culture. The phrase "pow pow" itself is a kind of exclamation, but it also has an ironic tone as if to highlight the hollowness of the social scenarios it describes. All my own words, of course.
All of the words.
Of course.
From this position, the track is less electro, but more funky and very pow, 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 and gets 7 LCD Soundsystems out of 10, which is kind of pointless because you guys have both voted for Watch the Tapes. So that is the one.
Is it going to be a...
No, it's not pointless. It's always going in the register.
But is it
for all eternity?
It's not. I'm not using Napalm.
No.
I mean, it's tempting.
Good.
Oh, sod it. Yes, I will. Yeah.
What?
Pow Pow's going to go
Oh my good God, why did I open my mouth? Why? Really?
We were quite happily having them.
Is it because you're bored and you want to use a Napalm Death?
Well, I like Pow Pow more than Watch the Tape, so...
Oh, okay. Well, it is your right, even though you're wrong. But, it is your right.
I'm stunned. Pow Pow. Just...
One by Napalm. Well, that's definitely where I wouldn't use the Napalm Death.
No, it's more kaboom now than Pow Pow, so...
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's done. It doesn't matter. It's all done.
Yeah, right. Fantastic. So next up, Sound of Silver versus Somebody's Calling Me. So obviously Sound of Silver, title track from the album. The song is a standout piece in the band's catalogue, often regarded as one of their most emotionally resonant and musically adventurous tracks. It blends James Murphy's... Did someone just giggle there?
No, not at all.
Or just kind of breathe out in disapproval.
I'm not dobbing him in, but that's so.
Yeah, I thought it might have been.
Thanks, G.
I'm
not a grass.
It blends James Murphy's sharp lyrical wit with expansive, intricate production, capturing the essence of the album's thematic focus on ageing, self-reflection, and the passage of time. And then we've got Somebody's Calling Me. So it's a somewhat understated, melancholic track that stands in contrast to much of the album's more upbeat and energetic material. So it brings a more reflective, introspective tone to the album, providing a poignant conclusion, although it's not really the conclusion because there's another track afterwards. So Stu, over to you.
Right, this is a rare thing I'm going to say about this band. I don't like either song.
Oh, okay.
I do actually think these are...
Welcome to my world, Stu. Come make yourself comfy.
There is a winner. I have picked one, but
There definitely is a winner, yeah.
I would be happy if neither got on the album, what we're creating.
Right, okay.
So, Sound of Silver. Another 80s inspired track, in my opinion. Another classic live one, I suppose. Yeah, it's there. It's obviously the title track of the album. Like the drums bounce around from left to right. That's a nice little effect. Obviously, can't really produce that easily live, but there you go. Nice little acid bass riffs as well, kicks in. However, this just reminds me now, Si's probably now going to be going, yes, I understand, yes. It's just a bunch of ideas which don't do anything. Now, I am so lenient on LCD Soundsystem. I love that there's two songs in one and they mix and things like that. But this one is just like, dude, is this just your demo of things, what you threw together? I don't understand. And then, oh God, somebody calling me. Oh God. I've got it in my notes. Have to admit it. I've actually written, have to admit it. This is not a good sounding track. It's horrible to listen to. It's right. I love repetitive pianos. LCD Soundsystem is all about repetitiveness.
Yeah.
But this one is just, come on. No, stop, please. I do like the lyrics, though. They are quite good if you're going to take something positive out of this.
Okay.
But there's a little bit too much detuning for my liking. Now, this song, I would equate it to, as soon as it comes on, you're either going for a piss or you're going to the bar. Because why on earth would you want to listen to this song?
And let me up track.
Yeah, that's the one. So, out of the two, I have to pick one.
You do?
God, I don't actually want to pick either one. Sound of Silver, just because it's maybe I can go to the toilet on both of them. Sound of Silver, there we go.
Which one gives you longest in the toilet, I think is your question.
I would have somebody to call me. I would have been longest in the toilet. So.
Okay, Si, over to you.
Okay, we discussed off air that, well, we didn't discuss it was more of like messaging. There was a track that made me think of another song. And when I listened to that other song, it actually sounds nothing like it. So then I was lost as to what that song was. Well, it's this track. It's Sound of Silver. And I was wrong. It does sound like it, but it's not a like-for-like comparison. The vocal delivery of Sound of Silver follows the same rhythm of the intro to Bad Lip Reading Yoda's Seagulls Stop It Now.
Right, okay.
And if you haven't heard that song, the YouTube video is 100% going up on the Facebook group. Oh, it's amazing. Basically, someone's written a song using bad lip reading of Yoda scenes from Star Wars.
I've seen some of the other bad lip reading songs, and they are quite memorable, quite catchy.
And the actual vocals, so the intro of that song is almost matches up perfectly with his vocal delivery of.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but saying that, I do not like this track at all. And then we get a bit of Radio Gaga in the middle as well. You get that.
I didn't hear that, but
I didn't notice that
on
either.
Radio Gaga. You get like the whooshing effect and the.
Yeah.
You've got that in the middle of this as well, but it's not really enough to save the track from being one of the worst on the album. It's possibly.
I can't argue with it.
It must be the curse of the title track.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's going against Nightclubbing by Iggy Pop. No, wait. Somebody's calling me. It's going against. This is the least listened song on the album, according to Spotify.
Ah, okay.
And I have no idea why. I think it's a fucking amazing track. It plods along nicely, but I think old Iggy is getting paid for this one.
Are you being sarcastic?
No. I think it's got a lot of letters here, but they come in, make an impact, go again, never outstaying their welcome from finger clicks to simp stabs. Well, except maybe that long simp stab at the end, that maybe pushes it a bit too much. But it's all in here. The track frustrates me, though, because this is literally what I've been talking about throughout this entire episode, and it proves they're capable of it. They just choose not to. I don't think it's any secret. I'm going with Somebody's Calling Me.
Right, okay.
Right, Cath, you get the
Get the
choice.
decider then.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, right, so Sound of Silver. It's a very unusual track in that it begins with the vocals first and the beat layering after a few lines. Interestingly, the phrase Sound of Silver is apparently a metaphor about the experience and the feeling of time slipping away.
Okay.
Didn't know that. Maybe it's just an American thing. The track is another long one at 7 minutes 7 seconds, but changes at various points, becoming more instrumental, going from one type of electro-funk to another. And there's all sorts of percussion going on. And we've got what I reckon to be a xylophone, some milk bottles,
Oh, yes,
and
it was.
then something that sounds kind of reminiscent of sounds from a 1980s computer loading screen. So that, yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Interesting, but yeah, I kind of have to agree with you guys. It's not the strongest track on the album, despite being the title track. It's going to get 7 LCD Soundsystems out of 10.
Okay, that's still quite strong.
Somebody's Calling Me. This could be one of the slowest intros on either of the albums. It's kind of slow, it's kind of cool, it's kind of like a hip, suited American gangster. He's clicking his fingers, he's smoking a cigarette under the illumination of a street lamp.
Cool Iggy Pop?
Maybe. The vocals are subdued and distant, but it's a nice track, and it's interesting to have something with a really different mood, like almost a jazzy mood on this album. And also, and I think we've sort of talked about this on other albums that we've explored, it's nice when bands try something a bit different as well, so they just explore different themes and different musical styles, and I think that's what this one's trying to do. So it was my preference out of the two for that reason. 7.5 LCD Soundsystems out of 10.
Okay, so that's Somebody's
Calling Me.
Okay.
Final track.
Yeah, we're there already.
We are there already. So there's only 9 tracks on each of the albums, so they're fairly short albums, despite some of the tracks being
very long tracks.
kind of long.
Oh, so long.
Also,
so
also
long.
brilliant.
So long.
Okay, so the final tracks, we've got New York, I Love You, But You're Bringing Me Down versus Home. So the first one, New York, I Love You, But You're Bringing Me Down, its closing track. It stands out as a poignant and reflective anthem, capturing James Murphy's complex relationship with New York City, a city he both loves and feels disillusioned by. The song combines a melancholy sense of nostalgia with a sharp critique of the changing landscape of the city. Getting a bit croaky there, particularly in terms of its commercialisation and loss of character. Home, again, obviously the final track. It serves as a powerful, uplifting closer that encapsulates many of the themes explored throughout the album. Often regarded as one of LCD Soundsystem's most heartfelt and celebratory songs, it balances introspective lyrics with an infectious, danceable beat, creating a sense of both closure and open-ended possibility. We're going to go to Sai.
Okay, if my choice on this goes on the playlist, I will be incredibly shocked and surprised here. I mean, this is a battle of 2 very different tracks to end on. I mean, we do prefer to end the playlist on a high. And New York, I Love You, But You're Bringing Me Down is a very slow build with I think it's just his vocals and a piano for quite a lot of it to start with. But I really do like that. It's something completely different to the rest of the album. Mm-hmm. If I had one negative to say about it, is it doesn't need that awkward pause at the end before the big piano finish. It's
Look at Stu's face.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, the song's finished, we're all off now. And I mean, if this was live, I can see him going, right, thanks, New York, I love you, bye-bye, we're all off now, and it's silent, and oh no, they come for the encore. Ha, we tricked you, we're still going. The maybe you're wrong, maybe I'm right section gets a little bit tiresome as well, but then I do love it musically when all the guitars and drums come into the battle. I mean, maybe it's not such a slow finish after all. It's just, I don't know. Home. Well, now we have all the samples and ideas not used on the album all crammed into one track. This is a very busy track. I mean, it kind of works. I like that little guitar riff in there. It's a very hard comparison, as I said, because they're just so different. And there's always something happening in Home, because you miss elements until you listen to it for a second time or a third time or a fourth time. And I like that aspect. I like finding things that I've missed on a second listen or a third listen. But it is similar to a lot of other things on these albums. So I'm going to go with the more stripped back, different, and ridiculously long title of New York, I Love You,
Yeah.
But You're Bringing Me Down.
Right, excellent. Stu, what do you reckon?
That was a interesting essay I've
It
heard from
was.
Simon.
I do not agree with him at all.
Shocked. I've never known him so negative about music before. Wow. Right,
I have.
so
Aye, what band was that? What band was that, Cath?
Wedding present.
no, you're all wrong. Anyway, Home. That's a great track, isn't it? It's funky. It's got all the ideas. And
All of the
ideas
ideas.
mentioned to, and it's great. Yeah, but like you look at it as a negative. I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it as an absolutely beautiful thing they've given to us as a gift, which we don't, or you don't deserve.
I've kept-
anyway.
After they put a little bow on the top.
I've kept the receipt.
Oh, you're so ungrateful.
You know, it's a really nice, clean sounding track as well. So obviously they've done some time in production on that one. But I do think it'll be a great song live. Love the TB303-esque in the background, just going up and down, up and down, up and down. They are masters of building the track up. They just are. I mean,
Yeah.
and James's voice is just perfect again for this track. It's a shame about the ending. I found it a little bit disjointed. That just didn't like to me. It was just like, oh, I don't know where that's going. So, but you know, it was good. It was good. It was like New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. What a fucking track!
In a good way
Everything
or a bad
about
way.
this track is just like a rat in a cage, pulling minimum wage. Oh my fucking god, yes! I want this. I want all of this. This is all I want. So the ball and collect, and I mean it, or disrespect. It's just, this song is fucking brilliant. I don't know how anybody could not like it. Simon,
I did like it. I picked it.
I know you did. I know you did. There's a lot going on in the background. Again, headphones if you have, and you can play it. Like, you've got to whack it up really loud as well. It's just awesome. It's just dirty and real, and James's just vocals just knock it out. And I 100% disagree with you, Si. The ending is fucking perfect. That's what I want. It's just like, it's not like, oh, we're so arrogant, we're going to make it. No, it's just like, it's the bit where they build the track and it's like, and then they explode it back to you. Oh, it's just awesome. It's like, you know, to me, this is what I've written in my notes. When they finish the track, they go, fuck no. Even though you lot don't deserve it, you're going to have some more. That's what
We
they
don't
say.
want it. We don't want
No,
it.
you don't want it. I want more of it. So, Home's going to get it, in my opinion. No, not really. No, of course it's going to be New York. Of course. Why wouldn't you pick anything else?
Okay.
Cath. Well, you're fucked now. That's good, because you can't use your napalm death.
No, but that's quite all right. Because, yeah, I'm happy either way. So, New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. This track is so different from all the other tracks on the album that if I didn't know it was LCD Soundsystem, I probably wouldn't have known. Gone are the hypnotic electro beats, and in its place we have a melancholic piano-y track with gentle drumming and a melodic bass guitar. The drumming does get a bit crazy just after the halfway mark, as the band seem to all want to say thank you and goodbye in their own musical way. It's an interesting choice for an album closer, and it's got a definite vibe of the party coming to its conclusion. 7 LCD Soundsystems out of 10 for that one.
That low?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Just saying.
Yeah. Home, the final percussion and synth-led track for the evening. The melody is nice, the vocals just right, and the chorus nice and catchy. Lyrically, Home is both reflective and optimistic, touching on themes of change, belonging, and self-acceptance. James Murphy reflects on feelings of uncertainty, growth, and finding comfort in one's own identity, especially after navigating the pressures and expectations of life. I didn't really have much to say about the music other than it's kind of nice. But yeah, obviously the New York I Love You But You Bring Me Down, much more distinctive. And you guys have sort of voted, well, it doesn't matter what I think. Really, does it?
Yes.
Because that one's going to get in.
Your opinion still matters to us.
Still matters.
It just wasn't quite to my taste. Like, I appreciate that they're doing something interesting and it reaches like a crescendo, but I think out of the two, I did prefer Home just because it sounds more distinctively LCD Soundsystem.
Okay.
Despite me having not a lot to say about the music itself.
Is that your vote?
My vote is Home, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. No, it's nice. I mean, they're both good tracks. They really are. But I'm glad to be fair, I was hoping that if you were going to use your Napalm Death, I'm glad now it didn't get there because you wouldn't have picked it. Because I would have been really, really peed off. Really peed off.
See, that's the one that surprised me. Like, when as I said, I was really surprised if my choice for this one gets in, because I thought you'd both go for Home. Because it's so much like LCD Soundsystem.
No, that song is just, to me, that's the best song on the whole album.
Oh, wow.
On that album, yeah.
Okay.
And trust me, and that album is crammed with amazing songs.
It is.
And that one for me ticks that box.
Yeah.
But to me, I mean, I think there's only 2 tracks on This Is Happening that I actually voted for. I have a very distinct favourite album. Well, favourite is a strong word. I have a very much preferred album.
Yeah, you've only picked 2 tracks from This Is Happening.
Okay, so what's on the album?
Well, the album is Get Innocuous, Drunk Girls, North American Scum, Someone Great, All My Friends, You Wanted a Hit, Pow Pow, Someone Is Calling Me, and New York, I Love You, but you're bringing me down. What an album.
Yeah.
And sorry, what are we calling this masterpiece we've created?
The playlist title for this album is going to be Sound of Happening.
Ooh.
And that can be found on Spotify by searching for the title of the playlist or searching for the Album Armageddon profile. Alternatively, you can join the Album Armageddon Facebook group, where you will find a pinned post right at the top that links directly to all of our playlists from the archive, as well as some other shenanigans going on with our ever-growing community there. The last thing we ask you to do is to share the podcast and Facebook group on your social media platform of choice, as well as drop us a 5-star review on the platform you're listening to right now. That just leaves us to put a bow on this episode to tell you that next month we are featuring a band that is the perfect example of love, imagination and dreaming, and to say goodbye. So say goodbye, Cath.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Stu.
Goodbye.
And until next time, we'll see you all then. Bye.
Bye. Woohoo.